Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on A Lover's Complaint, and today we've got stanzas 21 through 24, which is a continuation. I mean, obviously it's the very next set of stanzas, so it's going to be a continuation of what has come before, which was we met a woman who was by a river throwing all sorts of things into it, and then a man came and asked her what was wrong, hoping that he could help, and she launches into a story of how she fell in love with this man, and this man was so beautiful, and he's also kind, and he's also a great horse rider, and everybody's in love with this guy because he's so awesome. Men want him, women want him, old people, young people, everybody wants this guy. A lot of them collect his picture so that they can take it home and fantasize about him. And then stanza 21 picks up right about there by saying, "So many have that never touched his hand, sweetly supposed them mistress of his heart. My woeful self, that did in freedom stand, and was my own fee simple, not in part, what with his art in youth and youth in art, through my affections in his charmed power, reserved the stalk, and gave him all my flower. Yet did I not, as some my equals did, demand of him, nor being desired yielded, finding myself in honor so forbid, with safest distance I mine honor shielded. Experience for me many bulwarks builded, of proofs new bleeding, which remained the foil of this false jewel and his amorous spoil. But whoever shunned by precedent the destined ill, she must herself essay, or forced examples gainst her own content, to put the bypast perils in her way. Counsel may stop a while, what will not stay, for when we rage, advice is often seen by blunting us to make our wits more keen. Nor gives it satisfaction to our blood that we must curb it upon others' proof, to be forebode the sweets that seem so good, for fear of harms that preach in our behoof. O appetite, from judgment stand aloof. The one a palate hath that needs will taste, though reason weep and cry, it is thy last. So here she's telling us she gave in. She gave in to this man. There were so many people that were fantasizing about him, and she considered herself to be a strong, independent woman, but she gave in and slept with him. And she takes some comfort in the fact that she didn't go chasing after him, and she didn't give in immediately once he started wooing her, because she'd been sort of spurned in the past. But it got to the point where she was hearing so many things, and he was so pretty, and she really wanted to try him for herself and all that sort of thing. And it got to the point where lust outweighed reason, and she kind of had to go for it. She was hearing from so many people maybe what a great lover he was, and she didn't necessarily want to just take their word for it. She says, "Oh appetite, from judgment stand aloof." She wishes that her sexual appetite or her lust and her reason could stay away from each other and sort of cancel each other out, or the reason would at least be able to say to her lust, no, this is not it, because she knew going in that this was not going to be a good thing, but she went and had to do it anyway because she lusted after him so badly. So it is a little bit interesting to get to hear about female lust in this perspective, especially coming after all the sonnets that we just did, where Shakespeare was writing about male lust in the general direction of the Dark Lady for so long. It's interesting to get the female perspective here, that she just couldn't help herself and had to go for it with this guy who was so beautiful and an excellent horse rider and all of these sorts of things. So we're starting to see where maybe things could go wrong in The Lover's Complaint, and yeah, come on back tomorrow for a little bit more as we figure out exactly how he done her wrong, because we have to presume that he did, right? Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.